Welcome to the Four Wards Podcast. Hey, what's up? It's Eric Bra, voice of Draven, Jerks, and Vel'Koz. And you're listening to the Four Wards Podcast, here to help you move forward in League.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Four Wards Podcast. My name is Haberdashing here, and I am joined by three very professional, just the Stallion and George are the well-dressed ones right now.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I mean, hey, to be fair,
Badger's got a lovely t-shirt on.
Yes, he does have a very nice t-shirt. Yeah. He's wearing our King to Claude t-shirt. Gosh, I hope we have another one of those t-shirts come up pretty soon. We're still waiting for a good Four Awards one, so maybe we can figure that one out.
We can see what we can do about Four Awards.
We just have the 4 clap emojis and that's it.
Yeah, that's it could work.
Lucian or Lux or
that's on the back of the shirt, dude. Come on.
Top lane Lucian.
Yeah, because you have to flank with Lucian. Isn't that right? Isn't that how you do it?
Oh, yeah, that's how you do it.
Gotcha.
Make sure it's TPing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has to TP in his Lucian and flank from the back. It's simple.
I make those jokes. I never actually watched that game.
No?
I didn't either.
It is a treat. You should go back and watch that.
It's swell.
Okay. Yeah, so Badger's on the show with me. And
Hi.
So is Thallium.
Yo!
And so is George.
Yep. Still trying to move my camera around, but not working.
Yeah, it looked kind of weird. You were moving your camera around, and I was wondering what was going on. And you still had that light in the middle of your face.
Yep.
It looks good.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's good? Good.
I mean, more of I just fuck it. Let's just go on. It's a light, whatever.
Let's get the show on the road.
It's good enough.
Screw it.
It's a podcast. Fine.
YOLO,
Yeah.
dude.
You can see my lovely face. It's fine.
What have you guys been up to the last week?
I went to semifinals at Madison Square Gardens.
Tell us about that.
That was my first live league event, first live esports event, really. I mean, I've been to gaming conventions where there's lots of games and mini tournaments, but nothing like this. I went Saturday, which was clearly the inferior side of the bracket.
Told you.
But yeah. But I expected that. I bought my tickets before group stages. There's no choice there.
Mm-hmm.
But I regret nothing. It was a great experience. I met a bunch of people from the community, people I talk to in Discord all the time. They're still really young, much like you guys. Or I'm really old, one of the two, or both. Those aren't mutually exclusive ideas.
Probably
both.
But it just the atmosphere was amazing, and just being surrounded by so many people who are all into the same shit I am felt really nice.
Awesome.
How loud was it when Jat trolled both Reddit and everybody in the theater and everybody watching when he said H2 what? H2 Korean teams in the final.
That was great.
It was incredibly loud. He followed it up with an analysis. I had no idea what he said, just because everyone was like, "Boo!"
Didn't they change?
And then we
TSM?
started chanting H2K, H2K.
Oh, I thought it was
we
TSM.
booed.
It should have just
If you
TSM.
watch the video, I looked up the video today. If you go from H2K to the point where he goes, "What? I thought that was a good joke." That's a solid 10 or 15 seconds there of just the entire arena screaming at him.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
I'd expect that from Freak, not from him.
I mean, he did it a year or two ago.
Yeah.
That's true.
Trying to remember what that was, but I can't put my finger on it.
I think it was. That's why I predict. I think it was a European team to win one game. And SKT's moving on.
It was Fnatic. No, it was last year at Worlds. Origin.
Yeah,
that's
it was
who
Origin. Yeah.
It was Origin. He said, "I'm picking Origin to win one game and then get eliminated."
Nice.
We didn't even get that.
Yeah. So speaking of Worlds going on, finals is going to be this weekend. Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday.
Saturday
right.
night. Yep.
Saturday,
Alright.
7:30 Eastern, because I'm having people over to watch it on the big TV.
All
There you
right,
go.
so it's Samsung versus SKT. All right, any predictions there?
God.
Upsets?
I got a mystery skin bet with someone in the community. I think it's SKT 3-1 or better is the bet. So if Samsung wins 2 games, I owe them a skin, even if they don't actually win.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I have one with Shab that it's if SKT wins, I owe him anyone in the store. So
Oh, you should have specified.
Samsung, don't let me down again.
If SKT wins at all, like if they
Like,
win,
if they win,
series-
the
No,
best
like
of
if
5.
SKT wins the entire thing. Like
Oh,
he took SKT at brackets at the start of bracket stage. I took the field.
oh,
And I'm like,
Mm.
yeah, Rocks Tigers, don't let me
Yeah.
down.
Well,
Fuck.
Yeah.
I think I might have taken the bet at the time, but now that we're here,
I did. I thought Rocks was gonna. I thought Royal was gonna show their weak side a little bit more instead of getting 3-0 bodied. So that was gonna give Rocks a little bit more information going into it. And then they came out with this like misfortune pick. Like
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh.
misfortune.
we'll get to that here in just a little
we'll
bit.
get to that eventually.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So make sure
Yeah.
tune in. That'll be it's some of the best teams in the world at the biggest
Yeah.
stage for League of Legends.
I'd say 1 in 4.
If you miss semis, go
in the
back and
world.
watch
Mm-hmm.
But
the
Badger,
the
TSM
Rocks.
isn't there.
TSM's not even like top 8 for me.
Uh.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Go back and watch the Rocks SKT's 5-game series.
But keep in mind, my number 3 isn't even at Worlds right now,
That's
so
pretty amazing.
that's pretty sad,
Who
actually.
is your number 3?
KT Rolster.
Oh.
I think
Ah.
KT Rolster is so much better than Samsung, but Samsung just played that best of 5 so clean.
Mm-hmm.
In the gauntlet.
Yeah, in Gauntlet.
Welcome
so.
to the 4 LCS rundown.
Yeah,
All
if
right,
you want to
now-
hear more about it,
Yeah.
please tune into the
People
LCS
who actually know what they're
rundown.
talking about.
I'm sure they'll have a great breakdown of that. Let's see a few other things here. Extra Life. Talked about it a little bit last week. So Extra Life 2016 is coming up this Saturday, November 5th. Not this Saturday, but yeah. Saturday, November 5th, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern
By
Standard
the time
Time.
this comes out.
Yeah, and going till 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. It's a full 24-hour stream that will feature some of League of Legends, Overwatch, Gang Beasts, Left 4 Dead 2, lots of other games and shenanigans overall from T-Force and T-Force Friends as well. All money is going to the children's hospitals, and you can interact with and affect the games with donations that day or donate just to help out. And you just have to go to bit.ly/TForceLife to donate. And we hope to see you guys there that day.
Yeah, it should be a good time. I think I'm playing Dark Souls at some point. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet or not.
Dark
fun.
Souls 1,
The third one.
2, 3?
I haven't.
Okay.
I played 1. I haven't touched 2. I don't even own 3 yet. I was gonna get
Oh,
it, and
man.
Gotta get on top
'Cause-
of that.
because I got to get on top of that. So I got to figure out what's
Yeah.
going on with it because the schedule's still up in the air for stuff. So
You're going to have
just
a fun time.
keep posted with the network, both on Twitter at T-Force Network, and just listen to the podcast. They'll most likely give more information. So
Probably the subreddit.
Mhm.
probably
so
the
we
subreddit will
should
have
be-
the
I think
schedule as well.
4 Words podcast is being in an inter-podcast tournament. I think that's tentatively scheduled.
It's
Tentative.
I think we're just
word.
playing games. I
Yeah.
think it's just
More just
in-house at this
in-houses.
point.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there's going to be more stuff that people can drop by and play games with us as well.
I think we Forwards needs 2 more people. I think at this point because Badger, you're working.
Yeah, I work till
Oh.
9. I work 1 to 9 that night. So
Alright,
I'll
so
be
if
there
you
if
wanna
we
be
play a
on our
later
team.
block, but
Let us know.
All right. So last thing on the docket this week, there was a special showdown last weekend. Let's okay. So
Yeah?
I can
Sunday.
already see what happened.
You're
No,
both cringy.
okay. So I'm just gonna say I feel really sorry for Badger
Okay, why is that?
because first of all, he has to take a Teemo skin now. He doesn't
I
have
have
an
to get a
option about
Teemo
it.
skin. Second off, I literally played 2v3 bottom lane the first game. Like, it
No.
was insane.
But also, remember the end of the game.
Oh
was that
yeah,
the
the
second
second
game?
one. The second one, oh my gosh. I actually was having like a heart attack, like in a team fight. Cause what if you haven't seen any of the VODs, go back and watch them because they're incredible games. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, on our
They were
YouTube
fun to play in.
or-
I want to know what my heart rate was at. At one point, they killed us at Baron.
Mhm.
We're wiped. They go catch wave. They're pushing down mid. They get one Nexus turret down. We respawn. They realize, and I just call, they're panicking, kill them. And 4 guys go down. We get from tier 1 mid all the way through the inhibitor. They respawn. We like rotate it into top lane, get a couple more kills, get a turret, go down, get Elder Dragon, push it through bottom, and just end off of that.
Wow.
With you almost
Wow.
getting a penta, with me being a scumbag and
I know. I could have. And I went back and watched.
Attaboy.
I went back and watched. I could have flash auto net autoed you, and I would have killed you. But I didn't.
you
I
didn't.
used the net to get closer, and I'm like, "Fuck! I have my flash." No.
And that's why you didn't deserve the penta.
real
Yeah,
talk
I actually
though.
played
Pet
I actually
deserved or
played-
not given.
2 best of 2s on Sunday,
Mhm.
and I've been uploading games. George, I don't know if you've been uploading games to somewhere, but
Ish,
I think-
I have my side somewhere. I'm trying to find
your
it.
site somewhere. Okay, yeah. So I've been uploading games to YouTube since the proper actually isn't playing this season, unfortunately, in Vantage, because they were having issues finding a jungler for the team. So we've been uploading games, and I will definitely let people know most likely when our next series is. And at some point, I believe we're going to be playing George's team again. So
Yeah, there you go.
round two is later on this season.
And that
So
might actually be in the playoffs.
I think it's week 6 because there's only 5 teams.
Okay.
So that's like the week before playoffs. So
Well, either way, those were 2 of the best games I've played, if not ever, at least in like the past year. Those were some very good games. So
Nice.
go and watch them.
I was happy I got to play Lucian. And then I realized, like, oh, we're going to first pick you, Lucian. And I'm like, what? What? No,
So the first game, I wanted them to ban the Lucian, then first pick the Caitlyn.
Okay, gotcha.
I
But
didn't first pick the Caitlyn.
but they were scared of her just getting Poppy.
they were,
So
yeah, they were scared of the Poppy coming through, which she played Scion. Like,
yeah.
eh,
Anyway,
What are you gonna do?
what are you going to do?
Yep.
They were
we
fun
know
games.
for next time, though. We know for next time.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so we talked a little bit about Misfortune. Did you know that she has the highest and lowest win rate right now?
Yep, highest is AD carry, lowest is support, because support Misfortune is literally bad against everybody except Verzyra with Ashe.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da.
Thanks a
Yep.
lot, Gorilla.
It's as soon as he locked it in, like, well, fuck, rip solo queue. It happens. It inevitably happens a few times a year. Someone picks something specific to counter something. It's something different. People like it, and they try to apply it to everything in solo queue, and it fails horribly.
Doesn't
Have
work.
you all actually seen those in your games? I haven't run into any.
Yeah,
Well,
we played... Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was playing. Actually, I was both watching and playing with Punch and Dom that night, and we were like, "Oh, that's Misfortune support." Well, that's
I was
interesting.
there.
And this is like at the beginning of one of our games. We play our game. We were queuing up again, and Dom's like, "Should I do it? Should I do it? Maybe I should do this." No, I don't want to do it. I'm banning it. So he banned Misfortune. And then by the time our third game came around, they'd played it again and won again. And Dom's like, "All right, I'm making a room page. I'm gonna do this. This is happening. All right." And then the other team banned it.
Yeah,
And
they
then the game
actually
after
banned
that,
it.
someone banned it again. Like, so it
God.
was. It wasn't so. It distorted solo queue instantly by creating bans
Right.
for this champion that
It was
no one was banning.
Beautiful.
And not because they're scared of it, because they don't want it on their team.
Both. It's like I don't know what to do against that. Wait. Hope.
Killer.
What were you gonna say, Badger? I interrupted you.
So we played we played. I played with like Rescued and can't remember who else was there. Like Kindy, a couple of those guys. I ended up queuing into games with them that night as well, and we were chatting about it, and we're like, yeah, I think Misfortune support's okay. And our Vantage support was like, oh my gosh, I've won like 3 games of the 3 that I've played. And I'm like, you're not playing Misfortune support. Chill, dude. You're not playing Misfortune support in a competitive environment and like a serious best of 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up like, we were going to run it. Like, I was going to try it. I was going to theory craft it. And I knew what the runes he was running were. And it made sense. So you're just like, oh, let's just go Ash Misfortune and see what they do. So they first rotation Ash Misfortune, and I'm just like
First rotation.
they first rotationed it. They actually we didn't ban it because we were gonna play it. I was gonna pick it, and then Rescued was gonna pick the Ash. They took it, and I'm just like, how confident are you on Jin? She's like, I could play Jin, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play Brand, and we're literally just gonna light a fire under their ass so large, it's gonna make the pillar of flame from the Ignite video look like a campfire. So,
Hey, speaking of Ignite,
Segue.
Good segue, right? Zed is going to be performing. That's going to be like the opening performance for Worlds this year.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
did you actually listen to the remix they did for finals?
I didn't
with like
listen.
the orchestra,
I just saw. Oh,
with
it's
the
an
orchestra in the background.
remix.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy it.
Because I just like think it, especially if you're the one just watching it and not actually there, it's kind of boring for EDM stuff. Like, especially, what was it? Season 3
When they had
World Finals, like they had the guys.
Porter Robinson.
Yeah, that did the Lucian theme.
Yep.
Like it's like, this sounds okay. We've heard it before, and this is kind of boring as fuck to watch. Or my favorite example ever is, what was it? The Dota 2 Internationals, where they had Deadmau5 or
Yeah, they had Deadmau5 at TI, and they had Darude at like TwitchCon the one year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
fucking awesome.
There's just something about it. It's like they have Ultra play every year. And Twitch, and it's like, okay, this is good background music, but you can't just like turn it on in your speakers and like rave to it at your house. Like,
yeah.
It's like good gaming music in the background. So
I mean, it would certainly be nice with however many thousand people beside you.
Yeah,
but
like it's like the people who are at the season 3 finals for that, they said it was, really cool to watch with everything going on, but it's a different experience when you're just streaming it.
Yep.
I did really enjoy the season 4 Imagine Dragons opening and like the concert afterwards.
when they had like all the
that.
drummers and stuff on stage,
Yeah, that was dope as fuck.
cool.
Plus, it's just Warriors is a really good song. I like it.
That's
it
yeah.
speaks to me.
That's the thing too. Is Warriors is probably the best.
It's the
Yeah.
best world song
Who
so far.
performed before finals last year?
Oh god, who did the song? I know it was
Nikki Taylor did the song,
that's the yeah.
but it wasn't
performed?
her. Was it?
I don't know. I remember one year they had this weird like EDM thing with like an electric cello and some other weird stuff.
That was season 3.
That was 3
Mhm.
too. Okay.
That was 3. 'Cause
Yeah.
they had Porter Robinson in like the orchestra or whatever it was with the electric
Yeah.
cello, and I'm just like, this
This
is
is-
okay.
Yeah. This is borderline okay.
They should just get the Vi song out again,
That
or
was-
the Jinx video.
Jinx
Both of those
one.
were.
The Diana song
thought-
was really good.
Yeah, that was wasn't that the first like
Yeah, that was
orchestral
good.
piece for a league
But
that they did?
I think that the Diana song was really good, but it also runs into that problem of like an opening kind of gets you hype song.
Right.
It
Yeah,
was
that's
not.
not gonna hype anybody up.
Right.
You're right. You're right. I just thought it was
It's
nice.
a good song.
It
But
is.
seriously, although after the Vi song, who doesn't want to pick Vi and then just punch some people in the face? Well, you're an AD carry. You're
Lame.
hate Vi.
Yeah.
You don't count.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch out one of the links I had on here for another one that came up today about, was it Meddler saying they're possibly
bans.
probably
Yeah.
going to be changing bans for the next season.
Well, I didn't see this.
Oh yeah, it's like top of the page right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
So right now there's 6 bans. They're thinking of changing it to 10 bans. No word yet as to like the system, if it's going to be closer to like Dota, where it's like pick 2, ban 2, pick 2, ban 1, pick 1, something like that.
Ban 2, ban 2, pick 2, pick 2, ban 1, or bans. It's 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 1 1. But you alternate picks and bans, and then
Like 12 different champions.
yeah, you do like it's what I like about that system is for blue side you do 1 pick and then 2 picks on the other side, and then you do 1 pick for blue side. So you don't show too much, and it actually creates a more diverse strategic sense to it, and it'll actually make sense in competitive play to do this, because it'll shut down compositions like if you're playing Juggermaw, which hasn't been around since season 4, but if you're playing
If there
Juggermaw,
was something like that, like
if there was something
relied
like that,
heavily on
you
another
could
champion.
you could just like immediately take that out. But for like a solo queue aspect, maybe like if you're tired of seeing Yasuo with like 3 different knockups and you see 2 and you're just like, they're going for Yasuo.
Yeah,
I don't want to play
know.
it.
I think 10 bans sounds like a lot.
Well, the other thing to note is it's not that he was saying it was possible. He was saying highly likely.
Right.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not something they're just thinking about. It's something they're seriously thinking about.
Right. But like 10 bans, like the problem I think for competitive is you have the option to completely ban out someone's champion pool entirely. Because there's no one person in competitive plays more than 5 champions in like a rotation.
So
True.
the question I have
Okay with
is
that though.
is that because they have to learn the meta ones because they can't ban them all?
But I mean, I don't know.
Like,
could you
They're
really
80 carry a bitch.
yeah, because we're at the point right now where because you can't ban all of the top priority threats, everybody has to learn all of them to be able to pick them away.
Mhm.
In competitive play, not in solo queue, of course, because
Yeah. I don't know, like
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone could really learn more than like 4 to 5 champions and still play really well at a competitive level on them. That's a lot to ask.
We'll just have to wait and see what Paparito says about this.
True. It'll be interesting to see if anything happens with that.
I would just be interested to see how it's going to go, if it's going to be something like Dota, because like they can't really just tack on 2 bans to the current system on each side.
I mean, they
They
could.
could.
Champ Select
really
already
could.
takes
Too long.
a year and a day, because it's like, oh, I'm waiting to get into Champ Select. Now I'm waiting to go through bans. I'm waiting for picks, and someone forgot to
What
pick.
if they-
Let's go back to the beginning.
What if they just add 1 ban? What if they do 4 each side?
That seems more
Do you think-
reasonable.
That seems more reasonable. I mean,
It also
have-
really sucks if you're that one guy.
Yeah, they doesn't
Yeah.
get a ban.
Well, I don't know how they would do
they
that.
Should just
you get
do
first
more than one
pick.
ban at
Like,
a
come
time.
on.
But what about a red side?
You get first rotation. Like,
But so does the guy that gets a ban.
Then last pick doesn't
So?
get a ban. I don't know.
Yeah.
last pick doesn't get a ban. Like, you get to counter.
Right.
Like, simple as
Yeah.
that. Let's do that. I like that idea. If you get the solo pick, you don't get to ban. I'm fine with it. I'd
I
rather.
really just feel bad for George, because the next time our teams play, there's going to be 5 bans we can throw at him instead.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
But here's the thing. I finally figured out how to play everything at a mediocre level.
Then you play at a mediocre level.
Yeah.
Exactly. They don't
That's
have to
actually
ban.
probably good enough to
Okay.
beat my team.
And it doesn't matter if they ban me.
All I
because
can think
they'll
of
still
now
be
is
mediocre.
Pirates of the Caribbean when they're like, Johnny Depp, you're the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But,
But you have heard of me.
Johnny Depp.
Well, I can't remember. Jack Sparrow.
Jack
but
Sparrow.
There you go.
Damn it! I don't watch those movies. I only know like the quotes and stuff from it.
But you just substitute like the names of the actors and actresses.
Yeah, but I could just say Johnny Depp because it makes the same sense. Because when you think of Johnny Depp,
True.
what role do you think of?
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Definitely that one with the train.
I can't remember the one for fuck, now I can't even remember the name of the movie. Shit. Las
Mr.
Vegas.
Dance.
The Las Vegas. Fuck.
Fear and Loathing in Las
Loathing in
Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah.
Where he
Okay.
basically was Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
He was in Willy
But-
Wonka.
Yeah. No, everyone. Yeah.
Jack Sparrow.
If
Come
you
on.
say Jack Sparrow.
Like,
Yeah.
The thing about those movies, I loved the first one of those movies, but I thought the second one was so bad, I never saw any of the other ones.
I think you're in the same boat as a lot of people.
Yeah, kind of.
all I know is they made one with Keira Knightley at the end, or without Keira Knightley at the end.
Yeah.
What is it, or something like that? They brought another chick in, and it just went downhill from there. Like I cringe on the inside just even talking about it.
Oh, I'm
Like,
I'm so
hurts.
sorry your Pirates movies weren't as good as they could have been for you.
Just watch the
Hurts,
first
man.
one, call it a day.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only one that matters. But the pirate reference is from the third one, which is sad. The one that I just dropped.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't call
That's
it
the
sad.
first one.
It was the first one.
Yeah.
I thought that was the third
Yeah.
one.
That's like his introductory scene.
Mm-hmm.
No idea.
Badger just rage quit.
No idea. Oh man. So let's
and
talk
he-
about some actual League of Legends stuff here. So
Yeah,
there's an
let's do that.
update on plants in the PBE right now. They've gotten some feedback. People are already annoyed that the plants are just too random. So there's going to be like specific spawn locations for the plants. Blast cones like have their own spawn point. Let's see. I don't know what else is going on here.
Because there's not enough RNG in this game already.
I just
Yeah.
know.
Basically, they're just making it
Oh.
more predictable.
but still
Multi-ball.
really cluttered.
Multi-ball, but less of it.
Yeah. So good luck with figuring that one out, Riot. I don't know. Another interesting thing with the Assassin updates, we didn't mention it last week. The Proper mentioned it on their most recent episode, Lethality. They are getting rid of flat armor penetration for the reason they said it's too... But it was like too hard. It's too confusing. And they want to have a way to stop get AD assassins from snowballing. So what they do, so to make this less confusing, they added lethality, which is like flat armor pen, but instead of one lethality equals one flat armor pen, one lethality equals 40% armor pen plus 60% times 1/18th. No, their level divided by 18. It's really confusing.
Why don't you just not?
See, I don't buy it. This isn't to stop assassins from snowballing.
And
This is to stop AD carries from buying it.
And the goal here is to soften the impact of a very ahead assassin, stacking a ton of flat pen early, and also reduce the fall off of assassin's face over game time, especially when behind. That doesn't make sense at all. None of this makes sense.
But
I am
think they're just
convinced
trying to
this is about AD
normalize
carries and not assassins.
assassins
Pretty
a
much.
little bit.
They're tired of Black Cleaver, Ghostblade, Lucian, Jin with Duskblade, Ghostblade, all that stuff.
But
how does that
they're
change the
definitely
runes
tired of
up,
that,
though?
yeah.
That's my question. Is how does that
Yeah.
change the runes?
They're getting rid of that too. They're having lethality in that,
Wait, they're having
and
Runes? Wow.
Yeah.
Lethality runes.
yep, and masteries.
Okay.
That's
So
more than I
that's
thought.
that. What it definitely equates to is at level 1, your lethality is about 40% of what the flat armor would have been, and at level 18, it is equal to what it was. It is that
Well-
at no point is it more.
Of the target, the level of the target.
Yeah,
So
But
your
still,
lethality
like-
is actually slightly more effective against their
but it's never more
18,
than it was.
level 18 top laner as opposed to the support.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you think, so, like, say you have 10 lethality now, and they're level 9 to your level 6 because you fell, like, way the fuck behind as an AD assassin. Congratulations, your lethality equates to now 66% what it was in the last season. I don't know. It's
weird.
They said they're going to look at the numbers, but it's just what they have right now.
Well, I feel like we don't need to focus on the point was to just kind of like normalize the assassins a little bit, to like pull if they're really ahead, to pull that back a little bit, if they're really behind, to push that up a little bit and have a slightly more consistent assassin effectiveness. And if you're an AD assassin, you still want to buy it. And if you're an AD carry, they don't want you to buy it, but it probably will still be good.
I don't like the whole reason overall, like, we don't want assassins to get ahead and snowball. I mean, that's like kind of their whole thing.
Like, does it have to be though?
That's a good point.
For the most part.
I mean, couldn't you just have an assassin whose job is to kill somebody out of position that, like,
doesn't rely on like gold?
That doesn't rely on just gold.
I don't know. Like, I feel assassin is a high risk, high reward play style.
Right, but is the reward getting ahead and being able to kill everyone, or is the reward getting that person out of the team? Or, I'm sorry, off the battlefield is what I mean.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Damn it, George.
Just like Riot doesn't know what a ninja is.
God damn.
Riot doesn't know what an assassin is.
I'm stuck in my old crotchety league ways.
Yeah.
I want my gold regen
back in
items.
my day, the year Rift used to change seasons, and we had mana pots. And you could buy all the potions you wanted when you left base. I used to buy 13 potions on Garen.
I used to buy only wards and nothing else.
Supports. Lol.
Yeah.
God. The other thing to note with the higher sky reward is that there is no lethality on any of the defensive items anymore. So no Ma, for example.
Well, they added something in that's
There was just
similar.
Maw having armor pen was just completely unnecessary.
Yeah. I mean, they're making
really
a
fucking good.
They're making
it too good.
They're just making a really good split now between the bruiser items and the assassin items.
I like the item they got out of Maw now, which is like, I mean, it still gives magic resist, AD, and lethality, but instead of like the passives before, it now has an active where you get a spell shield. Like, you get a Sivir spell shield that lasts for 10 seconds when you press it after channeling for a little bit.
Yep.
So, like, you can, if you need to dive in, you can, put that armor on and dive in to your heart's content.
Mm-hmm.
So it's making a good item for assassins, anyways.
Yep. Well, that about covers lethality, probably.
That's about covers it.
Sure, the proper went into lots of details, but I missed their episode yesterday.
Yeah, I learned something. Okay, so hey George, did you want to talk about this one?
Oh yes. So I was in Discord with some of our guys the other day, and the question came up: what you know how League has all these really high impact moments, like the reason a lot of people play League isn't because they're happy all the time. A lot of people hate League, but they play for those like peak moments.
Right.
So
like an addict.
Like a drug.
So what is the first drug moment you got in League?
The first one.
That you can remember. Doesn't have to be the actual first one.
I know I went on a Jax bender when I first started playing, like after a month.
Was this when Dodge was a thing, or?
It was right afterwards.
Okay.
But it was still like, god damn, I just fucking played the shit out of Jax. My best one though was my Pentadunk with Darius.
Oh,
that was it was a ranked game and I fucking trashed it. Oh god, There was never a moment that felt that good in League as getting a pentadunk.
That sounds pretty amazing.
Please try to top that one.
That the animations would have been, oh my god.
It was fantastic.
I would say mine wasn't a moment that I was playing, but like when I was watching
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 World Finals, Azubu Frost versus Taipei Assassins. Game 1, Rapid Star is playing Karthus. He dies. He ults. Almost does the stereotypical Karthus R pentakill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting there on like the edge of my seat like, holy shit, he's going to do it. It's going to happen. And then, of course, someone had to live with like 20 HP.
This is your daily reminder. Karthus is still a champion.
Good one at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't
Vantage
seen
mid
it
my
forever.
Vantage mid laner plays it, so
Yeah. All right, Thalion, what about you?
Three things come to mind. I think I've only gotten 2 pentakills in my years of playing.
Mm-hmm.
One on Zyra and one on Graves, and I had another one stolen from me by my AD carry. That's
now you're
quadra
complaining about
kill.
it having stolen.
An enemy has been slain. God damn it, Spencer! He's like, that's just like earned, not given. But I think one of my earlier days when I played a lot of ADC Graves, and I do it with my friend who played Leona, and I think I got like 3v1 dove on Graves at like 200 health.
Mm-hmm.
And I quick draw it, I flashed, I shot people, I did smoke screen, and somehow I managed to get a triple kill and survive. And I also remember this because my friend is laughing hysterically that I lived, and I'm doing something kind of like the Zoidberg woo over comms, and giggling like, I don't know, a maniac. I was like, well, I can't just believe that happened. I think that's one of the things I think back to, one of my most enjoyable like individual moments in League that
Mm-hmm.
just crystallized in my memories.
Nice. All right, George, take us home.
Okay, so when I started playing, Kog'Maw was on like one of his first free weeks
Okay.
that they do after Champion comes out. I'm not sure if it was exactly then, but it was early on. So, and since then, he's remained my favorite champion.
Okay.
Because I started playing him, and it was fine against bots. I moved to playing versus actual people, and I went 5 games without getting a single kill.
Nice. Nice.
The first kill I ever got in a game was at 40 minutes in with a Kog'Maw passive. 5 games after playing PvP.
I'm so sorry.
that's actually awesome. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
don't care. That is my favorite moment of all time in League.
AP Cog or AD Cog?
Oh, this was AD. This was an actual.
Well, all right. Follow-up question. I forget when you started playing. AD Cog or one of those early on-hit Wriggles
this was
Malady
Wriggles.
Wits End Cog?
This was Wriggles.
That is a.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
The game
First
used to have an
kill-
item called Wriggles Lantern, which was ostensibly for junglers, in that it helped you kill minions, but also you could drop a ward. This was back before trinkets.
It
but yeah.
did it all. I don't think it always allowed you to drop a ward.
I'm pretty sure that was its.
That was the point of having a lantern.
Did it always?
No.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
Okay.
like,
it's been gone for what 3 years now. So
Some amount of time.
It died when Feral Flare
Yeah.
came around.
It,
I mean,
it,
like-
it was Feral Flare.
it,
And
it,
now
it took
Feral
me
Flare was
five
what?
games to get a kill against another person, and when I do, it's through a cog passive.
It's okay. It took me 3 games to get my first kill, and it was top lane Garen dunking some. I don't even know what happened. He like AFK'd right in front of my face, and he was like just standing there, and I'm like, this is too prime of an opportunity to do it. So, just hit him with the silence, Beyblade around him a little bit, and then dunk.
I think,
But yeah,
like in any game that you play, anytime you're able to get like a 1v1, kill someone in a 1v1 in lane, it feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're able to then completely dumpster them afterwards.
Yeah,
Or when you kill someone when they're playing your champion.
Hmm.
That's good.
It feels really good to do that.
mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. Hey, so this week we have a segment from Fault Zone. You haven't heard him yet on the podcast, but he has a really great piece with some smooth jazz behind it.
He does.
Yeah. So go ahead, take a listen to that. It's talking about why things happen in League, learning to kind of analyze what's going on around you. So take a listen, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and we have questions. Question time. All right. Hey, by the way, everybody, our mailbag is starting to get a little bit on the lower side. So if you have things you're wondering about in League, you want us to talk about them, I mean, even if it's something you kind of already know and you want us to kind of elaborate it further, or just curious what our thoughts are on the matter, we'd be happy to talk about it on the show here. Because this is where I know we do a lot of our time learning in League for the Forwards podcast nowadays. No follow-up? Okay, let's get into it.
No questions.
Okay, so first one from Daniel B. Hey guys, thanks for the show, and I'm glad to have it back. So to give you guys a non-jungle specific question, one
Thank
thing
you, guys.
I struggle with sometimes is knowing when to prioritize armor and magic pen when building. I understand it's when it's obvious if a team is stacking armor or MR, but outside of that, when does building damage do less for you than penetration? When does building damage do less for you than penetration?
Well, we can probably cover. George and I can get the MR part.
Mm-hmm.
Magic Pen. For a lot of champs, I think it depends a little bit on how much
Victor.
AP you. Pardon?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
For mages in the mid lane, I think it depends. Or your relationship between scaling damage and flat damage. There are some champions who do a lot of flat damage, so you want to get a lot of flat magic pen early. This is also true for some supports, like support Zyra. You want all the flat magic pen in the sorcerer's shoes and the haunting guys. While other champions, you want to get a couple of beefy AP items under your belt first before going into Void Staff is the most common thing that people buy in terms of percent magic pen. Usually, Void Staff, since it's percent magic pen, and so many champions have AP scaling, and definitely if you see someone on the other team building an Aegis, I usually get that around third or fourth item.
Including boots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Including boots. So like it'd be like, well, if including boots, probably be fourth to fifth.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's usually boots and Morellos, and then something like Rylai's or Zonya's, and then the or Abyssal, and then the fourth-ish would be Void Staff often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, generally the rule would go mana item, finish boots, big ticket AP, whether it's Rylai's or Luden's
Zonya's.
or whatever, Zonya's. And then either you want, depending on who you are, you'll either want Rabadons for the multiplication or Void Staff. Or like Zonya's if you didn't take it and need it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are basically your three items for your fourth slot. There aren't too many else.
I don't know if I'm bad, but I find myself building Death Cap less and less. Like either I want other things first, and it's like one of the last things I build, which might be because I'm bad. But it's like I'm playing Victor, I get Augment, I get Boots, I get Rylai's. Then usually I need Abyssal or Zonya's. Then I get a Void Staff, and then I'm looking to get the Death Cap. But by then, like I need a slot for a pink ward, and then I'm sitting on the needless, and I need 2,500 more gold. And then the game ends, and I don't actually end up getting the death cap that often.
Yeah,
Right.
and
maybe that's a mistake I'm making.
No, I mean it's actually better to do that because it's better when you have more AP. But there are a few mids I take it for the Void Staff on if possible, just the ones with really high skilling AP.
I think he'd probably want to get the Rabadons sooner on something like Vagar, who's got the baked-in AP scaling on his Q.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that, where you just naturally get a ton of AP. It's excellent on.
To address the question, you usually want to Void Staff just because so many champions have some scaling MR somewhere.
Yep.
And Aegis is such a common item for 3 more weeks.
Around there, yeah.
And then maybe we'll have to revisit this question in December when things have settled down a little bit, and we can go, all right, what about now that it's lethality?
Well, see, like, the difference, like, because Void Staff is, like, total MR.
Yeah.
So it's always, it was like old Last Whisper, like, for 80 carries and stuff. You always built the old Last Whisper because it always gave a large boost in damage.
Yep.
So either way, I think it'll be still good.
But when you think about it, there's only 3 sources of magic penetration in the game. There's Void Staff, which is percent total. Then there's Leandry's and the thing it builds out of.
That.
And then there's Sork Shoes. And then I guess Abyssal counts, but that's getting removed.
Ish.
I mean, it's different aura, but yeah.
Yeah, they're just... So the MR is an easier question, even though I talked for a long time.
Yeah, when it comes to AD, generally, like, Armor Pen is, I think, generally overvalued.
You take the flat pen, kind of like how, like, if you're going like a Jin build, or like the Cleaver Lucian build where you go Ghostblade and then either Duskblade or Cleaver, that's pretty much enough right there because you want to hit your big ticket AD items after that, your crit item, your IE. You're gonna maybe build DOMs later on, but you'll need a space for a QSS, and you already have 2 items that are armor pen. But standardly on other ADs, I've been noticing like Caitlyn, since there's Randuin's Omen is a huge thing, and Sunfire Capes, and Iceborne Gauntlets, and all these other big ticket armor items that seems like tanks are rushing quicker and quicker each day. Mm-hmm. And you're playing someone like a Caitlyn where you're building Hurricane, well, you go BF Sword, Hurricane, IE. At that point, you're basically going to need DOMs, or at least the Whisper on top of the DOMs. Or Whisper into the DOMs.
I think, well, even there, like, even if you're building the Lord Dominic's or guards, the Giant Slayer will almost always do more than the last Whisper component as far as damage goes.
Right, yeah, and DOMs is a very severely underrated third item on 80 carries.
Like, the way when this item first came out, I wanted to see how it compared to the old Last Whisper as far as damage goes. And if you're just judging it without the passive where it increases damage based on the health that the target has more than you, it'll always be worse until the target has 3.5 times more bonus armor than their base armor, which for tanky champions is like a shit ton of armor to build. But once you throw in that other component, they only need like 150 extra health for that to be more efficient than the old Last Whisper. Granted,
you just like
it does
melt.
cost
more. It costs more, but you just melt through tanks. It seems like you get your 50% crit, you get your 250% bonus damage on crits, and then you have the Giant Slayer passive on top of it, where you're just like, oh, I have 20% of my health, and you have 40% of your health. Well, you're gonna be back in my ballpark here in a second, and you're just like, it's really, I really like DOMs as an item. Mortal's only good if you're like going against one of these If you're going against one of the three of Mundo, Soraka, or Maokai, pretty
Vladimir.
Vladimir.
much. Well, yeah, Vladimir.
Vladimir.
Swain.
God,
There-
you guys are just like
there's
raining on
other
my
ones.
parade.
Yeah.
Tank Karma.
I've never
That's
seen a Tank
what?
Karma.
What?
Tank Karma.
In,
You build
in,
like
in the case that you do see a tank karma.
yes,
Master
because
AP, Master Yi.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah. AP Tryndamere.
Ugh.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I'd rather
everything
just okay.
things.
I guess
But actually, I wanted to
no.
circle back to that. So,
Yeah.
if you're, so that kind of even steers away. You're not even focused on the armor pen part of DOMs. You're looking at the giant spell. Is that the part that you pick up first? Like,
I
if
think
you get one, Last
really
Whisper,
should.
or Giant Slayer.
it's more gold efficient to go the 1,000 gold Giant Slayer than it is in most situations the 1,300 for Last Whisperer.
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's kind of like fighting convention for AD carries. And to be fair, AD carries, if they've been playing for a while, are stuck in a rut. It used to be back when old Last Whisper was around. You'd get your BF item, normally IE. You'd get Zeal
PD.
item, and then you'd get Last Whisper, and that was that. So when that change happened, I think people will still consider Last Whisper to be the superior component if you're building Lord Dominus or guards, but really the Giant Slayer is the better part. Like circling. Go ahead.
I mean, to be fair, it used to be like a fully built item, not a component,
Right.
which
yeah.
is why people still probably think that.
I guess like circling back to the question, AD, I think you have. It really just comes down to the math of it, whereas
There's so much math.
right, like the magic resist and magic penetration, there's more leeway because I think like mage builds definitely build more utility and defense into their kits than people are just trying to do damage in AD. So if you can
Fights
get
are getting
away,
longer.
if you can get away with building flat pen early, it's going to be worth it. Otherwise, unless there's a reason to build it, if they're stacking armor, there's really no reason to build things like Last Whisper because it's never going to really benefit you now.
We mentioned it before, but just to clarify, the Last Whisper penetrates bonus armor, not total armor.
Right.
That's why Haber was saying that Void Staff is always good because it penetrates all magic resist, not just bonus MR.
Yep. So I hope that kind of clears it up. It's like later on, the flat penetration you have, if a target has like say 120 armor and you're reducing it by 20, let's say, I don't know, what would that be? Then 200, like maybe a 5% damage increase. So you had to figure, okay, is the gold I'm getting for the 5% damage increase from that 20% armor pen more efficient than getting the gold value of 5% of my AD right now? And yeah, like it really is just more pure math for AD.
It's stupid how much math is involved with AD versus AP and armor pen and all that stuff. So
All right.
and then just gonna go all out the window when lethality comes around.
Right. It'll be. I'll be curious to see how it actually works out once it goes live. To see if there's any tweaks that they make or what all items it goes into. Because I would be kind of curious, like if they made it so the more lethality you had, the more efficient each point of lethality was.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
that'd be cool.
Yep.
But
All right. Hey, Thalon, you want to take the next question?
Yes. This is from Michael B. Hello, Forwards Ward. I screwed it up already.
nice.
Hello,
Take two.
Forwards crew. I got quite the problem with CSing at the moment, specifically with generating farm after the laning phase has ended. I'm actually quite good at last hitting as my number one mechanic to bring myself further in the game. However, recently, for some reason, I never seem to get far when I am with other people in the lane. I play good wave clear champions like Oriana too, so I don't quite understand how the hell it happens. Usually I end the laning phase at around 100 to 120 farm at like 15 minutes, and then suddenly flatline at around 150 most of the time when we hit 25 minutes. Any tips or advice? Thanks for your help. P.S. Love the show. The new hosts are doing really great so far. Smiley face. Aw.
Hey.
Thanks, Michael
job.
B.
Nice.
I think part of it is because you pick wave clear champions and just clear the wave. Like, part of it is between transitioning into mid game, you have to understand more of wave management, because if you just keep clearing the wave, it's harder to get like a consistent source of farm in one lane. It's a little different. It's more constricted in mid lane, as a lot more people come that way. But like, let's say, like bottom lane, like say you took the tower, no one's now down there. If you just shove that lane, it could never come back. It's possible like that lane will never come back to you for the rest of the game if you're not like careful about it. And if the other team's smart about it, that wave could never come back to your side. It could never be safe for you to farm that way again. So that was a big thing I had to learn, because I had the exact same problem at one time. Like, my farm did drop off mid game.
Well, a few things I have to say about that is, first of all, you are playing mid, and everybody knows that in every single game in Solo Queue we'll ever play, there comes a time, a very special time of about 20 minutes, where everybody just heads mid and takes all your farm for the next 10 minutes and don't get any towers.
Mid lane shuffle.
And that's something you're going to have to put up with if you're playing mid.
Well, also, as a mid laner, can't you just roam over and take chickens? Like, after
All
like
the
12
time.
minutes, take the
Yeah.
small ones at least. Let the big
Yeah.
ones stand for your jungler so you can get that vision buff. But
And the other comment I was just going to say is that people in Solo Queue suck at assigning gold efficiently to carries. There
It's
isn't
terrible.
any... Even up to high plat, low diamond, people don't do it. If the only place you're ever going to actually see good distribution of gold is going to be in fives.
Yeah,
for sure.
maybe.
And that's dependent on the
higher
team.
ranked fives.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's dependent on the team.
Yeah.
Like,
Teams whose
I
motto
hate
is
to
in
say it,
bronze logic. Huzzah!
but thanks to the nature of people in Solo Queue, somebody's always going to want a lot of farm,
Mhm.
and chances are the person that's already has the most is going to be capable of getting all of it. So
The snowball effect.
There's a lesson there.
And- Yeah, go ahead.
I would say it is tough. Like, especially if laning phase is over, and someone else is in your lane farming, like, leave. You don't need to stay there. You can go bot and try to catch that wave.
but that's the thing, though. If you're Oriana, like,
Takes a while.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
especially with a lot of the mids he's talking about, wave clear mids, they count on you being there for team fights.
true.
Well, then just
It's
That's a good point.
just type in chat real quick. I'm going to clear side wave.
And how many
And-
times do people actually listen to that?
They
If
don't.
you
but
actually
hey,
go
yeah.
in and type it, I think people are more likely to.
if you say, "Dear sirs, I am going to bounce bottom lane real quick."
I will never listen to you if you use that tone with me.
Yes, sir.
Where you just say, need X gold for Y item.
Yeah, you just ping
Mhm.
it and then go off
Mhm.
farm side wave. Like ping it,
Or,
do on my way ping, and then if they fight, they're just
Yeah.
not listening to the call.
Yeah,
you can
and-
also just play Ziggs or Gangplank and just ult the sideways
You,
and pick up all the gold that way.
I have been playing these SIGs recently. It's been
He did play Ziggs. Can
It's been
confirm.
explosive. I do like Ziggs.
I had played that for 5 months before the day before we played those games. Like the day before was the first time in 5 months.
all right. Like, I'd be curious if you went back and watched your games once mid lane rolls around. If you take a look, like try to monitor where the waves are, starting in mid game, and where farm is available. like you can start to kind of pick up where you can go, because there will be kind of dead times where you can roam to another lane if nothing's happening in mid or someone else is kind of shoving in mid for you. It's going to be an adjustment because farming in mid game is entirely different than farming in early game.
Yep.
That's that's
Take
about all I
bulls.
got.
Take chickens.
Take chickens.
Chickens.
You're
Lots
gonna
of
have
chickens.
so much fun next season with 6 mini
All the
chickens for you to
chickens.
have. Okay.
And then expanding Krugs. That's
Then you
going to be.
just tell the juggler, if I hear one more word come out of your stupid mouth, I'm going to eat every fucking chicken on this map.
Turning this mother into a fucking KFC.
Steal their chickens. You can do that too.
True.
If it's safe. You have vision on the side. If you play around your vision really well, you can steal their chickens quick. Especially if you're in Oriana, which I don't really classify her. To be frank, I don't classify her as a wave clear champion. She just can.
Well, it's
If you max up
after
the dissonance first.
no,
yeah,
like
QW will
max.
clear the caster minions, no problem.
Yeah.
and then QW shield will clear the whole wave
There you
if
go.
the shield goes through the melee minions.
Haha, thwarted again, Badger. You
I
don't
just-
play enough 80
there's-
Oriana.
I don't.
Or on hit
because
Oriana. That would be crazy.
on hit. I actually have played on hit
I've-
Oriana before.
Yeah.
I've tried to make that work before. I played Ringglaive once when that was a thing.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't work at all.
It should
Ringglaive
work,
Ori
though.
was brutal.
Because like her passive does bonus magic damage. You get her passive in an Asher's Tooth that's like 40% AP.
I
on
played
hit.
Runeglaive Victor when that was a thing.
Was that a thing?
I kick myself in the
No,
ass.
but I made it work.
I didn't. I was taking a break from League at the time when Runeglaive like first came out. I missed all of the mid lane Runeglaive Ezreal. Like the time when mid lane Ezreal was actually like really fucking good. Like I still played a shit ton of like mid lane Ezreal once I came back, but it still
sweet,
wasn't
like,
as good.
3-week period, and then Bjorn's,
Ah,
and then Riot's like, haha, all right,
no. No.
well,
All right, playtime's over, kids. Let's get you back into the real stuff.
Okay. Hey, any more like quick tips, comments, smart remarks you guys want to throw in for this week?
good luck with the end of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, how
Godspeed,
close are we?
Spider-Man.
Is it next Tuesday already?
It's 10 days.
No,
7th.
10 days.
So 7th, and then the 5th is Extra Life. So it's not this Saturday, not the next Saturday, but like 2 days after that.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's
Monday the
it's
7th.
the 7th of November.
So a week from Monday should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good luck for the climb, everybody. Remember, if you need a champion to carry you to your next rank, you have to
Top
play
Lucian.
top lane Lucian. This has been
No,
the
don't-
Four Words Podcast.